A lot of the corn is blown down, tangled up mess. I don't know what that weighs, but it's more than I can lift. Morning everyone, welcome back to the channel. So we got some more rain, about 4 inches. We had a heck of a storm over the weekend. Well, I guess it would be Sunday night going into Monday. We got a lot of wind, a lot of rain, a lot of down corn, water everywhere. It's kind of a mess around here. So we got a little bit of a project to do to the combine to kind of help us out with this. Just threw the battery charger on the 4320 real quick. We haven't taken the time to get new batteries for it. It really needs new batteries. It also needs a few other things, but that's gonna have to wait. While I'm walking over here, I'll give you a little bit of an update on what we got going on the farm. So we finished our beans, and we've been helping my uncle finish his beans last week. So we really didn't do a whole lot of our own stuff. We're about half done with corn, so we got about maybe a little over 400 acres left. Wind came through. A lot of the corn is blown down, tangled up mess, and we got mud to deal with. So in my previous video, you saw we were fighting the mud then. That was like 2 weeks ago, 3 weeks ago, and it only got worse. So we got a little project that's gonna help us out, hopefully. I'll show you guys that. We're gonna put rear wheel drive on this combine. This is only a 2-wheel drive combine. I've had a couple people ask why these tires are on backwards. It's because it's 2-wheel drive. That way, when these tires are trying to turn, the ground is pushing the tread the right way. So usually when you see a combine with the wheels on backwards, that means it's only 2-wheel drive. So we are gonna put 4-wheel drive on this thing. We think it's gonna help us out a lot. We don't have huge tires in the back, but they're decent size. They should float fairly well. The problem with the 2-wheel drive combine is when you get in the mud, these back tires sink, and then you're trying to drag those through the mud. Sometimes they're not even turning, and then your front tires just start digging deeper because they're trying to pull those back tires. So it's probably not gonna be all sunshine and roses with the rear wheel drive, but it's gonna help because these are gonna actually help push the combine and always be turning, hopefully staying on top of the ground, and then the front tires won't dig. So a little bit of a job here. I've never done this personally. Dad and Grandpa put this similar system on an old 9600 years ago, and they said it's pretty similar. You got 2 hubs, wheel motors. You got to change the spindles out. So we got to pop the tires off. We actually have to put the tires on different rims because they have a different bolt pattern on those. We got the rims on the trailer. Then we got to change some hoses, possibly change tie rods, and then we're going to have Deere come out and do some programming to the combine. That way it knows that it has rear wheel drive. So I'm going to get started here. We're going to pop these tires off. We got to take them down to the tire shop. They're going to dismount them and mount them on the other wheels, and then we should be good to go on that. And we can take those hubs off and put the new wheel drive motors on. These things right here. We're gonna put those on. I should mention this is a used system. It came from Maori Auction. They're an equipment dealer. Well, not dealer. They're an auction company. They do equipment auctions in Milford, Illinois. They go through a lot of combines and they ship a lot of them overseas. And I guess if somebody overseas buys one with rear wheel drive, a lot of times they don't want the rear wheel drive. So they'll take them off, put 2-wheel drive on. They probably had 20 of these sitting in the shed, and they'll just sell them outright. A lot cheaper than new. Hopefully we don't have any trouble. There is some risk there that these can be contaminated and it could send metal filings through. So we're gonna flush our hydraulic system and do our best to make sure we get it cleaned out, change filters, all that stuff. And knock on wood, cross our fingers, all the above. Hope it works out for us. So we got a change of plans already. Dad talked to the tire shop and they would rather mount and dismount our tires on the machine. So what we're gonna have to do is take one side apart and put the new drive motor on one side and leave the other side the old style, so they can swap tires around, and it's kind of going to be a cluster, but that's our only option. So we're going to get started. We're going to take one side or the other apart and get the hub mounted. And we also need to drain all of our hydraulic oil out. We got a big bucket for that. They said it holds somewhere around 10 gallons, and you got to drain it up here at the filter. So we're going to work on that too.
Ain't nothing coming out of that one. That ain't gonna work.
So we're trying to figure out how to drain this system. We talked to a Deere mechanic, and he said the best way is to drain it down here by the filter. We thought we could pop that line off, but I'm thinking there's a check valve or something in the pump. Drain it down here because you want to get that reservoir empty, and then it'll drain all the way down and get your hoses pretty much empty. That way you're not fighting oil all the time. Got the tires off. I'm gonna see if I can break these loose with a breaker bar. And then I'm gonna grab this with cherry picker. I'll also have to get the tie rod out of there. Just thought of that. And then hold that spindle hub, whatever you wanna call it, up. And then we'll plop the new one on there. And we'll be good as gold, I guess. Can't get the impact in here, so I'm hoping we can break them loose with a breaker bar. Ooh, that doesn't feel good. I might need a bigger breaker bar. Yeah. I don't want to break this one. Just pop them loose, I guess, and then we can use the half to go the rest of the way. Don't have one here.
No. I just remembered that too.
So we've been struggling a little bit this morning. We've been having to run all over to get different tools and different parts and buckets and everything. So I tried to break these loose with a 1/2 inch, was worried I was going to break the breaker bar. We got a set of 3/4 drive sockets and a 3/4 drive breaker bar. We didn't have the right size socket, but we got it loose with the size bigger.
Why is that so tight? Just get it to move.
We're trying to get the ball joint out, and we got this guy, but it's not thick enough. So we're gonna do what you're not supposed to do, and we put the nut back on, left a little bit of a gap, and I guess we're just gonna wail on it with the hammer and see if it'll drop out of there.
Might have dropped.
Yep.
Yeah.
Well, it worked. Did we mess up
Get
the
it
threads?
Yep.
Remains to be seen.
No. We didn't mess up the
Gotta
threads.
hold this.
Yeah. Keep going. There we go.
So now that we got the tie rod out of the way, we can get our last bolt off the hub. I left one up top here so it won't fall.
No, we still gotta loosen.
We gotta get that one
That
out.
one broke loose.
And then we should be able to pick that
At
up.
least pick it off there. It's walking do the same thing to the bottom. We're good. Let's walk it down. I got it. Yep.
Keep it low for now. Keep it low for now.
Yep. A little bit.
I don't know what that weighs, but it's more than I can lift.
Watch that wire.
Probably should have took a link out of that front one.
Yeah. Jack it up a little bit. Oh, right there.
You recording?
So the way this works, we got to take these two big hydraulic lines off. They are what supply the hydro to with oil so it turns, and then you replace it with two hoses that have a tee off for the inlet and outlet that go to the rear end. So we're going to take these off and let the oil drain out of the hoses and start tearing that apart.
Did you get my message last night?
Yes.
That guy was still here at 20.
There you go.
Won't be much left if we keep taking stuff off of
No kidding. Yeah? Yeah. Can we turn that? Turn.
it. Turn, but it's... All right, I got updates. So we took the big hoses down. We got one wheel hub, wheel motor deal mounted, and we mounted one rim. So these rims have a bigger bolt pattern in the middle compared to our two-wheel drive ones, and they have bigger bolts. So we got to swap our tires onto those rims. The tire shop dude, he wanted to mount them on the machine. So basically what we got to do is he's gonna probably dismount that one, mount it on that rim, and then we'll have to pop them off, swap the rims and tires, and then do the same thing, but yeah, in that order, if that makes sense. So we're kind of at a standstill because we can't change that other wheel motor till we get our tires swapped, and we need new O-rings for the new hoses. So we're waiting on those. Got a guy who's gonna bring them home. Yeah, so we're in a good spot. We're making some progress, but we're gonna roll this video into tomorrow. And we're back. We got O-rings, and we got our 50-page instruction manual. So maybe we can start figuring this thing out. I think what we're gonna start with is getting these big hoses mounted. We're still waiting on the tire guys to get here to swap these tires around and see where we go from there. So these are flat face fittings with O-rings in them, and we decided to put new ones just because we don't know how long these have been sitting and if they're dry or cracked or dirty or whatever. So
Yeah, there we go. Like yay. All right, now we got her.
you gotta go on the inside of that one.
Let's try it and see what. Might have to go on the inside of those. Kind of see what it does. See where we're at.
Right about there.
Well, that'll work.
Okay.
Unless we want to put this one on the outside of it. And just go like yay.
Yeah, I like that better.
Like that?
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, let me change it over.
Clean that out. And hold it kind of there.
Yeah, that's fine. It'll be easier to remove this hose at this point.
Yeah. Just get this up here and
'Cause
see what we got, because that's pushing
The
that hose way out
hydraulic
here.
oil tank's empty right now, so.
Yeah. Like twist it forward or backwards or. Why won't that? Can we pull? I need to pull some. Can we pull any out of that? That's it. You know what? I bet we got them backwards. Because that goes right up to the frickin' back one easy, but it don't go to the front. Heck, how come? That one start?
Yeah. Tire guys are here. So I'll recap real quick. Basically, we just changed out these hoses. They go all the way from the pump up side of the machine. Sorry, you can't see much, it's dark in here. And all the way up front to the hydro. And the only thing that's really different about them is the old hoses just went straight from there to the hydro. These hoses have this T in here that diverts oil down to power the rear wheel drive.